You give up some kills early, take it back to the late game, out macro them, and maybe you still have a shot.
Well, let's see if these new elements are truly greater than the sum of their parts against the Unicorns of Love. Starting on picks and bans, Cassiopeia, Morgana off the table, and so is LeBlanc and that Alistar.
This telegraphs definitely an Azir first pick for elements. I'm really wondering if Unicorns of Love are gonna give a third ban on the Azir here, or if they're gonna take out one of their junglers and then force elements to decide what they value more, their Gragas or their Azir. Or I might be wrong and elements might be predicting my prediction, and who knows. Let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
We'll have to see there. Krepo, for now, Thresh is off the board. What does this prompt Unicorns to do? I think if they do ban the Azir, there's a ton of very strong jungle picks up, but we've seen that, yes, they do want to prioritize Froggen getting something that he will be very comfortable, and I think the Azir very, very strong right now with all of our mid laners. It's going to be difficult if they pick it up first. What is that last ban coming through?
Kalista indicating that Unicorns says if you pick Azir, we'll go for Urgot. They do the same thing they could have done with the junglers, but instead they do it with the AD carries, however. And then it ruins the chance for elements to pick Sivir here. That's the one thing. Actually, no, it doesn't, because actually Kalista into Sivir is fine. Never mind. Sivir into Urgot is fine. I lied. I would like to see an Azir pick here for elements first.
Still quite a lot on the board. We saw yesterday Dexter massive on the Sejuani choice. They don't have to necessarily pick that first. All the junglers pretty much available. Gragas also on the table. I think the Azir is a really, really smart choice right now, yeah. But Froggen showed that he definitely knew how to play against it yesterday. Of course, that was Betsy. He's a very different player than PowerOfEvil.
No, that is true. He likes, or allegedly, or seems to like the Vladimir into the Azir matchup, but I think he could have got punished harder. He got pushed in. Elements, let's not forget, they were pushed in 3 lanes at the same time with no wave clear. The better team will absolutely punish you for that. Diamond Pucks was not invading at all. Early Sivir pickup, yes, because the counter Urgot pick is not going to do too much, because Sivir can just simply spell through that. If they would have banned Urgot, then the Kalista-Sivir relationship would have been a little different. But yeah, Unicorns might pick up the Azir themselves here, knowing that Elements is likely to go for the Vladimir in response. At least make the draft a little predictable on both sides. But I want to take it back a step and look at the bans from Elements and see that they targeted Thresh and Morgana. A lot of respect for Hylissang, while Unicorns of Love did not want to play against an Alistar from PromisQ. Stunning performance yesterday from PromisQ. Leaves the support pool pretty shallow. You know, what's going to come out next is Hylissang going to punish PromisQ? Say maybe he only plays 4 champions. We'll pick out the 4th and he'll have to go for a random support pick. Are we going to see a Bard again? In all honesty, it could happen right here.
It absolutely could. But for right now, Unicorns, they take their time all the way down to the wire. They lock in Annie and Gragas. Doesn't reveal too much of their strategy right now, although there's some wombo combo potential already coming out of there. Let's see what happens as Elements looks to their next pickups. So Dexter acknowledging his roots a little bit. Yeah,
if you don't know Dexter very well, he's a very avid Elise fan. He likes playing it, especially comboed with Thresh in the lane, you know, Lantern Elise in, get the cocoon off. Highly, highly doubt that he's going to lock it in. I've been wrong before, but you have the likes of Sejuani open, you have Evelynn open still. The thing is, what I like about Sivir first pick is that it gives you so many opportunities and possibilities. You can pick Vladimir, rush in, wombo again. You can pick Evelynn, flank, slow him down, speed up your team. Sivir does not need peeling in fights because she has a high mobility. She has a lot of AoE. She doesn't even have to hit the right target. Her bouncing blades will get to that target anyways. Her boomerang blade will get to the targets anyways. And yeah, the 4th support pick coming in here for PromisQ on Nautilus. Can lock down Annie. Definitely like that pick. Double tankiness plus Sivir. I really like what Elements is building here. Let's see how they round it out later.
Yep, I do like that combo up with the Rek'Sai. They've definitely got some serious mobility and lockdown available to them. Let's see what they go for on the other side. The Unicorns of Love might be expecting that Urgot pickup. And of course, Chachi, you know, he's known for some pretty interesting choices. Maokai would be one of the more vanilla of those. Yeah, and he does take it.
You don't really want to give away Maokai at the same time either, because then you're playing against a really, really dirty composition from Elements. A lot of CC, a lot of hard engage coming out of every single champion with a hard-to-catch AD carry. So might not even be a favorable pick. Might just be a steal at the same time. You have to keep that in mind. Urgot locked in very short range. So Unicorns of Love, barring a nice pick from PowerOfEvil, will lack some siege potential. So they'll have to definitely see if they can fix that, because they're not really telegraphing a nice split push either. They're striding towards a mid-game, 20-30 minute teamfight brawl type of thing. And they're playing, I guess, into or with Element style from yesterday. If that's a repeat, we might see a lot of fights here, Pyra.
Well, we might indeed, and Elements certainly looking for some wombo combo of their own. If they take that Orianna, it will be all on the back of Froggen with the shockwaves, but...
Not a fan.
Yeah, let's see what they do as the timer ticks down. I don't think it's going to be the Tryndamere. Instead, it's the Viktor.
I like the Viktor more. Has a little more forward pressure, has a little more less scaling time needed. If you play Orianna, you sit too far back. Again, Kog'Maw mid, pretty predictable. We know PowerOfEvil was going to look for that pick, likely since it plays well in the composition. This time, Unicorns of Love have planned ahead enough picks. This composition works well around Kog'Maw. As we said, no siege potential in those 4 picks, but a lot of fight potential, a lot of peel potential, and they can keep their one-man Kog'Maw army safe. And now it kind of rounds out the comp really nice for Unicorns of Love. Elements, pretty nice combination of champions as well. Rumble in the top lane because in addition to having 2 tanks already, Rek'Sai and Nautilus, you can get some more damage. And an extra engage tool in Rumble. You can slow people down with the equalizer, allowing the Sivir ulti to speed up and basically overwhelm the Unicorns.
Exactly, they're just going to want to crash over them like a wave and, well, send them down to the deep. That way Nautilus can deal with them. But for now, Elements, they've got that composition locked in. For Unicorns of Love, well, we will see how the damage split happens this time around. Hopefully for Unicorns, not the same as it happened yesterday, as we see the coaches shaking hands, walking off the stage, looking at...
Here we are again.
Here we are again, yes.
Final game of the day. 10th game of the European LCS. I'm excited. I like both drafts. I like both drafts. I want to see what lanes they turn out. I think lane swap, not too likely to happen. I like that Sivir can spell shield a lot of the things that Urgot Annie can throw at Sivir. At the same time, she can get caught off guard by a stun. Yeah, definitely interesting.
Very interesting possibilities. They are quite interesting. And this game is sure to be a slugfest. And why don't you guys keep on letting us know what you think. LOL Esports is the place to be. Hashtag EL win or UOL win. And we are on to the rift for the final game of week 1 of the European LCS Summer Split. Elements versus the Unicorns of Love.
And I love that the crowd is still hyphy here at the 5th game of the day. They're ready for a bloodbath area.
I think these teams are ready for a bloodbath too. And these two hit each other. They will hit hard. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. You can see it. Starting off, we have the makings of line of scrimmage. Will it get any different?
I think the crowd is chanting for Steve. Guys, he's gone. He's already played today.
We'll see him next week.
We'll see him next week yet again. So, standard line of scrimmage, as you just said. Let's see whether Jwaow can start a forest fire on the top lane or Vizicsacsi is strong enough to survive that.
Tabzz and PromisQ here.
Yeah, they want the Warden.
They want to have an eye on what's going on in this side. Yeah, Vardags though is still able to harass them a little bit, but he can't stop the ward from going down.
So yeah, you see the ward placed on the left side by PromisQ allows them to group up on the other side, get 2 men in and force the Unicorns back and get a deep ward. This gives some knowledge whether the Unicorns bot lane is actually in a bot lane, whether they're starting the Grump or not. Let's see how this plays out.
So far, it looks like we are headed for those standard lanes. No shenanigans from either of these teams. Hylissang and Vardags head themselves down in through the brush. Very deep. Elements notices.
General rule of thumb, when you play with a melee and a range support against double ranged, you want to do a camp so you can use the relic stacks to your advantage, hit the level 2 spike quicker. However, UOL not going for the camp, thinking they will get invaded upon. Elements knowing that UOL might not go for the camp, and instead Tabzz is going to leash. This is a very bold move. Solo sending in the Nautilus in case they start the camp, and at the same time leashing. Really like it. Elements gets ahead level 1.
Yeah.
Freezing from Hylissang. They're afraid of a lane swap. Potential freeze here.
Yeah, lack of knowledge playing in there for Elements' favor. So PromisQ is going to show
Tabzz missed 1 creep.
This happens. Yep.
Really important for the level of timing. No longer levels up on 9 creeps. They want to push now. Experience deficit on the AD carry means you want a hard push. And because Urgot Annie doesn't have any push potential, just poke, they want to use the bouncing blades as quick as they can to get the lane in their favor. However, they have a melee range champion. It's going to get tricky. Hylissang gets all in here.
Yeah, melee range doesn't matter when you can get in the enemy's face. Hilly is burning away, and he has to burn his flash to get away.
So this is what I love so much about bot lane. In reaction to Elements trying to get that push to hit the level 2 first, UOL tries to stop that by aggression, but PromisQ goes aggressive, hits level 2, and really doesn't like that range creep. Judge lane in the face.
No, that's not very happy with that one. PowerOfEvil goes and pops a ward down, waiting to get right back into it. Meanwhile, up in top, Chachi's taking a little bit of abuse from Jwaow, but he is able to back off as the singed bark is slowly healing up.
Full HP coming out of his jungler clear. Get take the crab and go for a gank. Kikis is a lot lower. Did not get a leash, that's the difference. Go back to level 1. Dexter got that leash. Now he's invading the enemy jungle on full HP while he knows that Gragas is going to suffer a little more. He's setting up for a gank in the middle lane, Pyra.
Yes, he is. Waiting patiently. Did avoid that ward. And yeah, that is the big difference in the way these two started this game. Also, keep an eye on Dexter, especially this game. He was massive on Sejuani yesterday, but
I think they spotted him. Yeah, they pinged him out earlier.
Yep.
So the time advantage that he gained in doing that, we saw the Scuttle Crab go down on the other side roughly 10 to 15 seconds later, is now lost because, yeah, he was spotted on the side. He had an opportunity to potentially gank, but PowerOfEvil spotted him. This neutralizes the advantage from the leash. We're back to square one.
Right now he is controlling the jungle, the topside jungle that is. It's already taken away. The Raptor camp looks to go for the Krugs as well. Now, meanwhile, Froggen pushing PowerOfEvil in on this mid side. Both mid laners level 4. It's a face full of Death Ray. And he will continue to try and farm under that tower. Froggen takes a little bit back though.
Yeah, farm on bottom. Even though they had that little altercation, Hylissang lost his flash. Farm 24 CS to Urgot, 21 to Sivir, so not too much happening there.
Not too much indeed. Looks like Kikis is going to realize he's been had in his jungle.
Been bamboozled.
Have to go down elsewhere for his farm.
Yeah, small experience lead I imagine for Dexter at this point. Hasn't faced yet though. He's going for the greedy farm. Wants all that sweet money. And Chachi's wave is pushing back. If you notice, his creeps outnumber those of Jwaw's, so that means he's automatically pushing. And he can never stop that unless Jwaow starts killing that wave. Chachi may have to be careful from a gank. He doesn't know where Dexter is, but he should be fine in theory.
Yeah, speaking of Dexter, he's actually heading slowly down the bottom side. He's got a few camps to take, but we'll see if he decides to turn his attention to that bottom lane. Back in that lane, Tabzz and PromisQ here. They're down in CS versus Vardags, but the real key here is going to be the Annie. Stun still up, but only level 4.
And no flash on the Annie, and that's why Dexter's going bot. Even though he can help his Rumble out, he knows Annie has no flash, so he can go for the knock-up flash, or the flash knock-up rather. And because UOL has to respect this, Elements is somewhat freezing the lane, putting it in a position in front of their tower where it's really hard for Hylissang to poke, let alone overextend, because he has to constantly respect Dexter coming around any corner. They can't even deport because technically he could be in that rush, so as long as Dexter doesn't show, there will be a pressure advantage in the bot lane for Elements. Let's see how they react.
Just trying to bait Vardags out. The dredge line hits the minion. However, Vardags does take a little bit of damage. Dexter reveals himself. The trap is sprung, but they weren't in position.
Second time
to get caught. I would
Second
say.
time, PromisQ, yeah, a little nervous. Didn't really see that creep, and didn't get the dredge line. Otherwise, he would have guaranteed forced the flash from Vardags. Unlucky, definitely proving that the target Alistar ban was the right one, because not in his comfort zone right now.
Yeah, we've seen this be a strategy so far to try to pick on the newcomers, and
poor Steve.
Right now, yeah, poor Steve, but that's okay. Everyone loves him. See if PromisQ can amass the same level of fame after this game, or will his champion pool be a little bit in doubt? Right now, let's take a look back at this top lane, because Chachi jumps in onto Jwaow. Kikis coming in for the movement. Jwaw's on the wrong side of the tower here, throws down the equalizer, but Kikis just jumps right through it. Jwaw's gonna have to burn his flash to get away from that.
What I really like about that flash is that it is the absolute latest moment possible. Froggen's getting aggressive, but Dexter's waiting in the wings.
See his PowerOfEvil. Thought he only had one to deal with, instead he had 2. Burns both of his summoners to get away from that. Not sure the ghost was necessary.
So here, flashing early is good, because if PowerOfEvil gets knocked up, he will have to flash out afterwards anyways. On the top lane, however, using the flash on the Rumble very late doesn't allow Kikis to react to this flash to carry the body slam over. Very smart and a little bit ballsy play by Jwaow, but he flashes at the exact right frame where he has to, and really, really impressive.
Yeah, he's missed out on a little bit of farm here, though. After that, he was forced back. So Chachi will be able to back and pick up his Catalyst, the Protector. Dexter, meanwhile, on the bottom riverside, going and grabbing himself.
PromisQ really does not like those minions.
No.
Third dredge line.
The momentum in CS, though, has shifted in Tab's favor. He's 67 to 56 of the Urgot on Vardags, and now Dexter's hanging around on the bottom side. He's got to be careful on this dive, though. Hilly is getting close to that level 6 mark. We'll have the Tibbers. He's got his stun up and available.
So Tabzz is happy farming to this point, because now he gets a BF sword and a little more gold to invest in maybe a ward. I'm not sure if he has enough for boots. At the same time, he delayed the tier long enough for the Urgot. He snuck a base right here. This is what Tabzz like doing. His playstyle is alright. sometimes he will hide in that brush, and he does that enough against you that you will assume that he's there, and then suddenly he's gone. So he's a really master of mind gaming in terms of bases, and it's relatively safe on his side. He disappeared, was hoping Unicorns of Love reacted too slowly and could show up in lane with a BF sword and then absolutely wreak havoc. But
yeah, Vardags, he's got to be able to back and get some items at this point because he's only sitting on that longsword right now. Meanwhile, though, this may open up a potential dragon for Elements, but Dexter just moves right by it.
Yeah, but they're setting up the vision right now. They're waiting for Tabzz to push in bottom again. UOL go for the cross map, and they go on Jwaow.
Yeah, they do. Kikis, they may be able to secure this one. Equalizer's thrown down. Jwaow is in a lot of trouble, but Kikis is taking some damage too. Jwow's giving him a run for their money, but I don't think he's going to be running for much longer. He will go down. That's first blood to Chachi, but quick to react. Elements are on the dragon.
Nice gang by the Unicorns. I feel Jwaow could have been a little more careful when you know it's a double. It's like a three-step process rather. You push in the bot lane, you're gonna base. In reaction, their bot lane will base. You have the momentum, you have the tempo. This means you will pick up a quasi-free dragon. That means your top laner has to chill. He has to play back on the top side, not overextend, because a good team will recognize that that's going on. They will concede that dragon and go to get you on the other side of the map, and Jwaow drops dead. But still, I like the dragon pickup for Elements.
Yeah, it's a little hard to chill when you got your flame on, but Jwaow that time.
That is indeed true.
He will make it back to base, that's okay. And I think he'll still be nice and relevant for this mid-game setup. Unicorns of Love, they did give up that dragon now, so at just shy of 10 minutes, slight lead of gold over to Unicorns thanks to that first blood, but they are lacking the dragon.
And the wave pushing back, good wave managed by Tabzz. This is where he's really good at as an AD carry. He's not missing much CS. While he still picked up that dragon, he had the favorable base timing, got the objective, the wave bounced back into his control. He's farming yet again, comfortably. Doesn't need that much attention right now. Sivir is a utility-based AD carry. Kikis coming in for the gank. I wonder if Elements spotted that pink ward, because that usually telegraphs that the gank is coming. Let's see how this plays out.
Well, they're certainly playing far back here. Tabzz should have no trouble clearing this wave under tower. Sends out some bouncing blades to make it so, and Kikis just shows face. They're going to utilize this number advantage to just get some pressure on the tower. PromisQ, this time it was close. No minions to block his path.
Froggen picks up blue buff. That means they should know where Dexter is right now. So there's a lot of hidden information in League of Legends. When those mid laners around this time of the game rather move to the left side or the right side to pick up their blue buff, they come back without losing any HP. You can bet your money on it that they just got help from the junglers. So they should know where these junglers are at this point in the game based on the mid laners' movements.
Because of that, tell what they are planning to do next. Crab vision going to be cleared by the Unicorns here, but it will be a while before that dragon becomes tenable for them. Meanwhile, all the towers still standing this game, extended lane phase. This is typically how Elements in the past has liked to play with this new lineup. So far, the trend holds. Yeah,
Vardags not afraid to start poking 1v2 because he knows there's a pink ward behind it. Elements has no idea where Hylissang is, so they'll assume the worst. They'll assume that he's in the lane. He could disappear at any given time and maybe get Froggen down in the mid lane.
This would be surprisingly stealthy for a fat man. Kikis did, in fact, base. He's going up towards the middle, but meanwhile, Tabzz and PromisQ are playing incredibly safe on this one. Farm's been very, very even between these two AD carries.
They have to.
It's bounced a little bit, but yeah, nothing seriously significant. And I feel like fairly even amounts of time has been invested in this bot lane by the jungle, but it's been a while since Dexter showed there. And now he's down again, but he's starting to back.
Yeah, Elements showing a pretty distinctive style here. Bot lane focused in their ganks, even though they have the utility AD carry in Sivir. Jwaow is playing on an island, reminiscent of what the critique was that Wicked got a lot in Elements, that he was playing alone and his team wasn't really helping him too much. They seem to play slow, not give away any kills, and they really want to spike in that mid to late game. 30 CS lead, as you pointed out here, for Vizicsacsi in the top lane. Jwaow got 2 ganks on him, had to burn his teleport. Arguably could have survived the second gank if he played back a little more. Let's see if teams start exploiting that more in the future.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that differential between the two top laners is going to affect these teams trying to go for a fight, but right now they're more interested in trying to get catches. Kikis, though, a little too quick on the draw for them. He dashes himself out of danger.
So we had that fancy 0 to 15 minute stat where we were constantly saying how bloodbathy the Unicorns of Love were. There's 2 minutes left to get about 5 or 6, 7 kills to average that stat. So Unicorns turn on the fire. We are seeing a distinctly different style.
Speaking of fire, Jwaow Could be burning up in just a minute. In comes Chachi, gets the jump on him, has the level advantage, and Jwaw's got to run away from that. Yeah, Unicorns, I feel like they've been cowed a little bit by this new element style.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're comfortable in their position where they're in right now because they have a hyper-scaling component in the mid lane. If they didn't have that, they would have been in trouble, but Kog'Maw scales so well, and we saw yesterday how hard PowerOfEvil can carry with that champion.
Yeah, and he's getting pretty darn close there to his Vizicsacsi, so that's going to start to sting quite a lot. Froggen so far has kept a slim lead in CS on him, but there really hasn't been that much going on in the mid lane since the earlier attempt by Dexter. PowerOfEvil, though, he's really been fantastic at making sure he keeps the vision around his lane safe.
Yeah, definitely a little more pressure on the side of UOL on top of elements. Nothing really gonna happen. Hylissang picked up distortion boots already, so he definitely wants to do the staple, the bread and butter of an Annie support, which is flash Tibbers. Wait, burn the enemy's flash at the worst, and then get your flash up sooner so you can flash Tibbers again. Dexter hovering around bot lane again. This is definitely a pattern. Dexter's spent the majority of his time yesterday on bottom, which I think was a right call. Today, I think he should have spent more time top to at least get Jwaow rolling a little bit more. Sivir, Nautilus should be able to hold their own.
They should, certainly. But now, with under a minute till the next dragon spawns, that instantly becomes a priority for both these teams. Blue buff was pinged away by Dexter, but PowerOfEvil in the area. Kikis as well. They could attempt to go over and steal, but it's a little bit too risky. You wouldn't want to spend all that with so many Unicorn members there. And here we are, 30 seconds on this next Drake. Vardags is trying to base right now. They're not going to cancel, even though they spotted it out.
And PowerOfEvil basing too. If Froggen kept track of the gold that's on PowerOfEvil, they might be able to rush this dragon. However, picking a blue buff is necessary for AP Kog'Maw, else he's just simply going to run out of mana. Now he can continuously poke. Well, Elements looking for the reactionary tower, and I believe that's the first tower of the game going down in Elements' favor.
They will be able to get it, but before they can back and spend that gold, they've got a dragon to contend with. Kikis is spotted out by the Prey Seeker from Dexter. Dragon now live on the table. Scuttle Shrine in favor of Elements, and they have stacked 4 members here, both top laners with their teleports available. How are Elements going to play this one out? Very conservatively for the time being. In comes Kikis, though. Teleport started by Vizicsacsi. The bear is down. Froggen is getting knocked into the team, and he's going down. Thrown in the equalizer. That's Jwaow burning away, but Tabzz will pick up Vardags, and the rest of the Unicorns are starting to melt. There they go. Hilly is down. Vardags is down. Kikis and Power are safe. Chachi causing some havoc. Jwaow, saplings down. Will that be enough? Dexter's now been turned on, but he's able to tunnel away to safety. Close calls all around. Chachi's still on the chase, but he has to back away.
Absolutely massive engage there by Hylissang, followed up by Kikis, knocks Froggen into his team. Luckily for Elements, Froggen got his damage off, and that made that fight closer than it could have been. This could have been an absolutely wash for the Unicorns. Relatively even. Everybody is so low that they can't even do better. Let's watch this again. 2-man Tibbers, followed by the knockup. Froggen doesn't know what's hitting him. Left, right, and center. Gets knocked in, flashes in place, but this is really vital. Vardags goes real low, does no more damage. Let's keep an eye on where PowerOfEvil is. He joins the fight right now. Keeps poking. He's relatively low, so he had a bout with Dexter earlier. And look at the range, what he can already do on this Kog'Maw. And Vizicsacsi, no attention was placed on him by Dexter. He's so tanky that he can be the front line. Together with Kikis, this 2-man tank squad can zone control for PowerOfEvil.
Right, and then that Kog'Maw rage meant that he was pretty much allowed to just pew-pew from up on the ledge. And now, Unicorns, they have the better positioning. They will be able to secure their first dragon of the game, and they do smite it down by Kikis. And now Jwaow pushing in on the top side. He's going to be helped by Dexter, too, and he's got a wave coming up at his back. It looks like we might be in for a tower trade, Krepo.
Yeah, we are. And Hylissang, such a good Tibbers. Did exactly what he needed to do. Held it on long enough. Made it so that he set up Kikis perfectly. And this is the guy that's playing with 3 of his supports banned out. He banned out his own Alistar. Elements banned out Thresh, banned out Morgana. He still finds an opening in the Annie and plays it marvelously, even though he had to use his flash early. Only died once, just in that fight.
We're going to have some tower races right here. 4 members now of Unicorns down on the bottom side. A tiny minion wave is all that is going to be helping Elements to put some tower
damage has the wave clear
there. Yeah, the wave clear. PowerOfEvil with that Vizicsacsi is just a little bit too strong now, so Elements will not be able to do this. But let's take a look down on the bottom side as Unicorns of Love are going to get stopped short by Jwaow, but still...
Jwaow uses Equalizer in his best PowerOfEvil impression.
Power's backed away.
Yeah, he had to.
Gonna push us.
He was scared of getting flanked on the tier 2 tower. That's why he respected Elements enough to be a good enough team that they could dive him 4v1. Even tower trade, 500 gold apart, 400 gold apart rather, but only 5 kills in this match, what was supposed to be a bloodbath. What happened, Europe?
I don't know, man. Sometimes it just has to go back and be a little bit more calm. But the towers have been falling very quickly in succession. It's been 2 for 2 so far. Unicorns looking to make it a nice and round 3 in this mid lane. See if they can do it. Kikis pushing Jwaow back. Tabzz is there. The sapling's down. You heard the Rek'Sai scream, but Unicorns of Love are paying it no mind as they start to chunk away on the tower. Hilly, he's got the Tibbers, but he does not have flash, so they have to respect the potential engage.
But watch the flash timer on Hylissang. It's almost ready. Then take your eyes and look at Elements. Flashes down on Jwaow, Dexter, Froggen, Tabzz, and PromisQ. Nobody has flashes on their side. This is the 1 minute 30 seconds window where distortion boosts are absolutely crazy efficient, and this is where UOL really wants to drive that advantage home. Or just go home.
Well, drive it home, go home.
All the same.
At the end of the day, they can definitely utilize that time to spend a little bit of gold here. So let's take stock of where we are right now. 19 minutes on the clock. It is a 600 gold lead for Elements. Very slim. A pair of dragons each team has won. 3 towers to 2. So Elements, they're ticking ahead ever so slightly in just about every box, but that's it.
It will be very interesting to see how this game evolves. A lot of eyes on PowerOfEvil. He can't get caught ever, and it's gonna be really rough. Definitely the equalizer coming down, slowing him down is enough to get Dexter in range with the knock-up. You know, Viktor has a lot of range damage that he can send out. Basically suicide and trade his life for PowerOfEvil's. Any 1-for-1 trade on PowerOfEvil is definitely worth it on Elements' side. Tabzz will speed up all these members as well. If it's not scary enough that they're all coming for you, at hyperspeed, gonna get even more tricky. So PowerOfEvil will definitely need his flash in the next fight, and maybe that's why Unicorns of Love decided to not opt for a flash Tibbers engage.
Yeah, they have to be sure that they can shore up that defense. And PowerOfEvil, though, he has been two-stepping all this game long, and shown that he can definitely fight in all sorts of terrain. That over-ledge engage over by the Dragon, that really, I think, helped save the day, or rather helped win the day more for his team. It was a big front line from Vizicsacsi he was working with, but still, now Elements have revealed themselves. There we go on the hunt. They're looking for the Unicorns. There is no power here. Vardags is the first to fall. Chachi now being chased out. Kikis had already gotten back to safety, but this mid tower is gone, and Elements can keep pushing if they want. The Tibbers is down on Froggen. The barrel is going to knock him, but he will be able to flash out of danger.
And thank you, Elements, for showing why Sivir is such a staple pick in the LPL. So many teams pick it first, ban it maybe even, and get such a high win rate because you can instantly turn the switch. The second you see somebody go to the bot lane, you can get somebody in the mid lane.
Yeah, when in a region, it's all about running at the enemy team. It's a small wonder, but here in Europe, Elements have shown that they can take that style as well. So, Unicorns now looking to answer back, but all of a sudden their wave is gone. Tibbers is going down too. Unicorns of Love looking for some revenge here. Kikis finding PromisQ, but he will hook his way away. Now he's stunned, now he's done. Kikis picks him up.
Very nice pickup from the Unicorns, but if we go back to yesterday, the moment where the Unicorns lost the game is when they sent PowerOfEvil to get that side lane farm. Again, he goes for the bot lane. He shows, immediately he gets punished. He is the cornerstone of the Unicorns in this poke composition. He has to stay around mid, somehow farm up that way. He cannot leave this lane.
And this is a serious problem with the way that they pick their comp, but we'll talk about that in a minute because Froggen is targeted out by the Unicorns. Kikis will get the kill for him. Dexter now being in the front of it all, as it looks like we're going to have Tabzz get the shutdown on Kikis, and Hylissang going very, very low as PowerOfEvil provides some cover fire. It ends up being a 2-for-1 at the end of the day. Unicorns come up with that one, and they should be able to push this. No, they're going to back away.
I love how the Unicorns capitalize on advantages that they created earlier. Remember that Tibbers on Froggen and the explosive cast knocked Froggen back. He panic flashed where he didn't have to. Unicorns, they don't forget, they remembered that, and now they killed Froggen.
And they also got Jwaow, and they got a tower. So with that, they secure their third of the game. The outer one in the top still stands, but they've knocked down 2 in the bottom, and now 1 in the mid. Dragons up in another 30 seconds, so Unicorns, they take the opportunity to go back to base, spend that hard-earned gold, and set up once again.
And will we see a repeat here? Will the teams learn from their mistakes, play better against each other's compositions? Is PowerOfEvil gonna die? I guess we'll see it on the next episode of Dragon Wars.
Well, we won't have to wait very long for that one, Krepo. It's 10 seconds and counting on the clock. Dexter has found the Scuttle Crab. Looks to polish this one off soon, but Kikis, he has something to say about that. Rolls out the barrel, but he's all by himself, or is he? The rest of the Unicorns are surely inbound. Vizicsacsi has that teleport available. Jwaow, no such thing, so the advantage to the Unicorns on that. They secure crab control. They start to clear the vision out, but Elements are massing.
And watch how Elements is moving around like this big death ball, popping on the hunt, and they're going in.
Looking for Kikis, but they're slowed down by the barrel from Kikis, and all of a sudden, Chachi comes in. He's found in the gravity field. Twisted advance onto PromisQ, but in comes a big equalizer from Jwaow. Chachi burning down. He melts the bark off the tree, and so far, it's a 1-for-1, but Dexter's caught out. Hyperkinetic position killed. A double kill for PowerOfEvil. Unicorns are now hungry to run down some Elements even further. Froggen has got a bailout. The living artillery flashing forward. PowerOfEvil, he's gonna hunt him down, and he finds another. 3-for-1.
And PowerOfEvil was virtually untouched that fight, and that's really vital. I don't like Elements popping the on the hunt unless they have their eyes on the Unicorn's main carry, Kog'Maw. PowerOfEvil, they need to get him. They need to close the gap and kill him immediately. If you start the fight, these members are too tanky. Gragas is too tanky. Maokai is too tanky. If you don't get PowerOfEvil down immediately, look at it. He still had flash. He opted to use flash aggressively to settle a score with Froggen, and he took him down, and he's snowballing out of control right now.
Absolutely. 3 kills to him, 0 deaths, 5 assists. You can't ask much more from your AP, Kog'Maw, and PowerOfEvil has just really turned on the heat here. Elements now looking towards the Baron area, secure some vision up, make sure the Unicorns can't make that play, but they are now down some gold. They're down a dragon, 24.5 minutes on the clock. What will they do next?
Jwaow looks he might be in trouble, and he has flash. Righteous Glory popped.
Yep, that's going to be Chachi, though, jumping onto him. Hylissang is there.
Doesn't even want to use Tabzz.
Yeah, he's not getting out of this one, and they don't even need to burn much. Equalizer goes down, but Dexter's there for the answer, but all of a sudden, I think he's regretting that decision. In comes the Tabzz. Dexter is getting rapid fire down, and Vardags picks it up. Thank you very much, say the Unicorns. And now they should surely get a tower up top. Elements are scrambling.
And we keep talking about PowerOfEvil, but you have to make sure that this is a team effort, and everybody knows their job in the Unicorns lineup right here. We have the peel from Kikis, the knockbacks from Kikis. We have Vardags doing exactly what he needs to be, disturbing the enemy force, swapping where necessary, and Hylissang, his stuns have absolutely been so solid for the Unicorns.
Absolutely, and team effort is definitely the way to describe it. You look at the scoreboards for the rest of the Unicorns, 2-1-8 for Chachi. He's got participation in 10 out of 11 kills, 1-1-7 for Hylissang. Honestly, Vardags has been the lowest, but he's been wandering around, and now we've got actually a race on our hands. They're targeting, though, PowerOfEvil. Froggen goes in, flashes Chaos Storm, looks for everything, but Power is still able to walk away.
Because he had Ghost.
Unicorns are on the base.
And this is why PowerOfEvil runs Ghost and Flash. One time Flash is enough, the other time Ghost is enough to go out. As long as you don't use both at the same time, he can get away, and as a result, Elements use that time, or they lose that time and they lose their top inhibitor, and this is massive.
Yeah, and they barely got anything back for it. A tower, second tier in the mid, and then they had to call chicken and head back to base. Unicorns, they're in such a fantastic position at this point. 26 minutes, they turned up the heat, and this is the Unicorns I think everyone expected to see from the spring split.
And we saw them right on social media as well. 0-2 would be very disappointing, and they're showing that they don't want to go down without a fight, and they definitely want that victory.
Yes, indeed. Now, Elements, they are starting to mass up once again towards the Baron pit. They do not want to give up that objective. But what can they do? The longer this game goes on, that Kog'Maw continues to become a massive problem, and Unicorns of Love just keep extending this lead.
Yeah, you said it right there. It's Operation Kill Kog'Maw or bust. That's what they need to do. If they don't get PowerOfEvil down quickly enough, they'll just lose the game straight up.
Yeah, you mentioned Distortion Boots and how useful they were for Hylissang's Annie, but Froggen has decided to take a leaf out of that playbook.
I definitely need that. Just want to flash aggressively on Viktor, an immobile carry when your main job is to kill one guy. Added mobility from the Sivir on the hunt. You basically want to get close, flash in his face, pop your ulti, and hope that he dies to the sheer amount of AoE spells, and then you can hopefully claw your way back out of this tank line from the Unicorns. But if you look at Gragas, so tanky. Vardags amassing a decent amount of HP and base stats as well. Nobody will die except PowerOfEvil.
You can see this brazen confidence that the Unicorns have. They don't even have PowerOfEvil with them, but they're still poking and harassing Elements, confident that there will be no counter engage. Kikis, his forward positioning is just crazy right here, and he knows he's spotted.
Yeah, they have to clear the vision though. Elements got a pink ward on the Baron. I'd like to see that disappear. They don't have the best siege potential. Yes, they have poke, but their AD carry is very short range, and I'm not sure if you want to put PowerOfEvil in attack range of that tower. Let's see if these pokes connect.
5 members of Elements that are designed to run at the Kog'Maw versus that beefy front line and the counter engage, the Annie, the twisted advance from the Maokai, the explosive cast from the Gragas, and now it is Unicorns. They're running at Elements just to scare them away. They say boo, Elements say goodbye, and there goes the tower in the mid. Unicorns of Love still pushing on, waiting for Elements to back away, and now they can do it again. Kikis goes Froggen, he blows up Froggen! What was that? PromisQ now trying to get away as Kikis occupies the attention of Elements, and in they go. Jwaw's going down. Dexter having to flash. That's a double kill for Vardags, and it looks like the Unicorns want to end this right here, right now. Vizicsacsi spending that teleport. They know this game is all in the bag, Krepo.
I could have never been more wrong. Just as I'm saying, I don't like them taking his tower. They take down a tower, they take down Froggen, take down the inhibitor, 2 Nexus towers in the span of maybe 1 minute and 10 seconds. Dominating performance from the Unicorns and very deserved victory.
Kaboom goes
Boom,
the
boom,
Nexus. Boom. And Elements are 1-1 in this split, and so are the Unicorns. Excellent play from them to drive.
And this is what we said, right? Unpredictable, 50-50, and week 1 proves it. Very meek performance yesterday from the Unicorns, but fantastic play today.
We said all in the spring they were consistently inconsistent, and hey, here we are again.
Yeah, but that's an easy excuse to say. Whenever they win or lose, yeah, they're inconsistent. You know, who could predict that?
Come up with some new words, Krepo.
Yeah, let's look at Elements though. They're looking to create a distinctive pattern and style. Jwaow on the island in the top lane. Even though Tabzz was on this utility AD carry in the bot lane, Dexter still spent a lot of time there. I'm not sure if I like that.
Yeah, I think again, you know, we asked the question of what is their identity at the beginning of this split. We asked, you know, what we thought the style would be, how they would play around Froggen, or how would they do it, try to do something different. I think they're definitely still trying to find that out themselves. And it's not been bad at all. They played a very good game, they played a very safe game, and they took advantages where they could. But Unicorns were just able to outplay them and roll the lead forward consistently. This time PowerOfEvil was not just an asset, not just a crucial part of the team, but the rest of the team had rallied around him and they made it happen. Yeah,
definitely worked well for the Unicorns playing with PowerOfEvil. And that plays into the way On the Hunt was used. When PowerOfEvil went for that side lane farm, going back into the game, yes, you can punish the other members, but when you don't know where PowerOfEvil is, you have to hold that On the Hunt, wait for him to show his face, and then aggressively go on him so he can't poke you down or join the fight midway, because the Unicorns members were so tanky that they could buy enough time for PowerOfEvil to flank, throw down the artillery, and basically win the fight. You have to get on top of him immediately, because if you don't do it immediately, it'll be too late.
Exactly. Just about it now. That's all for us, so we're going to go ahead and send it over to Quick Shot on stage.